Hello, good evening. I am your girl, your diva, Sasha, coming into you live for another episode of Night Talks with Sasha. So, first off, my voice is going to sound a little eh tonight, so bear with me. I I've been sick. I was diagnosed as having COVID, and so it seems like I had COVID and maybe an upper respiratory infection. They just don't know. A girl was sick. Okay, that's just it. I was sick, so my voice is still not at 100%. But we doing it. We on here. We working. Okay, okay. So I hope that you had a wonderful week. I hope that you got an opportunity to go out and enjoy the sunshine that we had, especially if you were in Georgia. We had some really beautiful warm days. Spring is on the horizon. Yes, I'm ready. I am so ready. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I got a little housekeeping that I need to take care of, okay? And then we're going to get into tonight's show. I'm going to introduce my guest and then we're going to be set. So, bear with me. Okay. So, coming up in March, Sasha the Certifiable Diva is going to be interviewed. Yes, your girl is going to be interviewed. It's a no holds barred, whatever you call it. Like, you can ask me anything. I'm going to be asked anything and everything um, by a couple of ladies on my platform here on my show. And it's going to be an update, an update on life after um, Max Rice. It has been 2 years since my partner in life and in business transition. And so it's an update. And so we're going to talk about what it's been like and how I've made it through and all that good stuff. So look for that show. It's going to happen in March. Also in March, I'm going to have um, the juiciest peach of them all, Miss Unique. She's coming back from the creator of the Juicy Peaches. She has some really awesome stuff that's going to happen this year, this summer in June. And so it's going to be the first. Listen, bring your ear to the phone. Come here. Come here. You come here. Listen. There's going to be a super size, yes, an SS supersized BBW Expo for us, by us in Atlanta, Georgia. So, get your tickets, get your mama, get your cousin, get your auntie, and bring y'all asses on. Okay? Come on. This is going to be in June. You got a little time. This is the end of February. We're rolling into March. Bring that ass. Come on. And I'm gonna give you a little tidbit. I might get in trouble. So if y'all don't hear and I get cussed out and y'all heard about Sasha got cussed out, then you know why. Okay? Cause I'm gonna hook y'all. Like I'm gonna give you a reason to bring your ass to Georgia and come on out. Okay? Okay? Big Back coming. Y'all know who Big Back is? Pretty fat girl. But you didn't hear that from me. You didn't hear that from me. You didn't hear that from me. Because I am not the one to gossip or talk. You didn't hear that from me. Bring your ass. Come on. Anyway. So Unique is coming on the show. She probably gonna cuss down when she get on here. But I had to let y'all. I couldn't hold it. I'm known for not holding water. Like, come on. I've done. Bring your ass. Just come on. She gonna be on the show in March talking about the butterfly ball. You never went to a prom. You didn't go to your prom in high school. You want a reason to dress up. You want a reason to come out with your big bag and put on some black tie event clothes and stuff. You want a reason to go shopping. You need a reason to go down there to Charlotte, North Carolina and talk to old girl goddess that's with the dresses and the proms and all that. Baby, come on, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Bring your ass. She gonna talk about it. I love y'all, so I'm giving y'all a little update. But I'm probably getting in trouble. Ain't gonna say no more. Moving on. That's it. Those are the biggest announcements that I have for right now. Also, the men's show is still going to happen in June. Listen, ladies, if I got a holes in my mouth, so y'all bear with me, my throat. Ladies, if you want to ask men questions and you want to get them in a room and they can't go nowhere, and you want to ask them some stuff that's been on the tip of your tongue, like why do they have to all the time adjust themselves? If you want to ask stuff like that, why they always got to touch their private? Is it because they think it's going to be gone? Are they detaching it? What's going on with it? If you have questions that you want to ask them, I'm just giving you an example. Send them to me. Or if you don't want to send it to me, call in because it's happening in June. Men, if you want to talk, look, I'm good. Like y'all safe with me. I'm not gonna be all up in your business. I'm not gonna put you on the spot. That's not how I operate. I'm not like that. So give me an opportunity, give me a chance. Come and talk to me. Come on, let's talk. I want y'all to have a platform where you can talk about anything that you want to talk about, and there's no one that's going to critique you, judge you. Oh no, you wrong for that. None of that. It's your time. So come and talk to Sasha the Diva. I love men. That didn't come out right. But you know what I'm saying. Okay. So that's that. Now, let's get into the meat. I done gave y'all some sides. Let's get into the meat. Okay? So, first of all, let me introduce my guest, the CEO, the editor, Miss Deidre Gibbs. Bye-bye. We waiting for a particular person. Hello, Miss Deidre. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm laughing at you already, but I'm good.
Don't be laughing at me.
Girl, you know, like, come up and meet now something. I'm like, that was worse than the first one. Get that?
Well, you know.
I'm like, oh, Lord, this is going to be so fun.
Yes, it's going to be one of those nights. I can already feel it in the atmosphere.
You already know where my mind is.
Yes, I know. Girl, I'm waiting. As soon as they pop on, if they pop on, it's yours. I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm not even gonna touch it. It's for you.
And those that have been hearing my voice before, you know what we're talking about.
Yes. Hi, Joe. Joe, if you're listening, call in. Call in, Joe. We want to talk to you. We want to ask you about your red flags. We want to talk about your red flags, your green flags, if you have a blue or pink or white.
I was gonna say we had a flag.
Did you know that there were all those types of flags when it comes to relationships, Deidre?
Oh no, definitely.
I had no idea. There is even a pink flag.
Hmm. And
Here.
everyone has its own meaning.
I'm like, y'all doing too much.
No,
Anyway.
that just means that there is something for everyone. There's no making sure that no one is left out. Everybody can be heard and seen and represented.
Okay.
It's just learning it.
I got you. I can agree with that. I'm with you on that. Okay. I got you. So
Yeah.
that that leads into the meat.
Okay.
Red flags.
RB.
Yeah, we gonna talk about, I mean, and did you
Wait a
listen to
second.
the 50 parts of Risa Tisa? Did you listen to it?
I'm gonna say no. I read it, and when I got to a certain part, and I'm gonna explain why. When I got to a certain part, I stopped because that was on a level. That was on a level to where I no. Before
Uh-oh.
she went to answer him, I'm like, girl.
Okay. Okay. All right. All
But
right.
I got the more gist of it. Because like I said, I kind of already knew stuff about it even before she got put her part out there. But I
Yeah.
already knew about those types of situations.
Yeah.
But yeah, her situation. Yeah. I'm gonna wait till we get fully into it before I speak. Because I'm
Okay.
gonna do both sides.
Okay. Let's pace ourselves. Let's
Because
pace.
there's some juicy topics. You do have a lot of juicy ones.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about Beyonce. I just hope the Beehive don't come for me.
No, because I mean, some reality. Well, it depends. No matter what, it's supportive. I'm not really big into country, but the
Yeah.
fact that she can go into that genre, that's all.
Yeah.
That's even better. That's a Black History moment for me.
Thank you. That's what I said. That's exactly
Yeah,
what I said. I looked at it from that point of view. It's a Black
yeah.
History moment.
She's not the first Black person to do country. There's been
Nope.
plenty others back when we can always say where a lot of these people who back when the TV got formed, they got that music from a Black person, but they will be able to be presented by white folks. She,
Yep.
on the other hand, knowing is a Black artist because her music has been controversial when she did the piece about in Louisiana, and next thing you know, she going against the police. No, bad police put themselves out there, not her music.
Yep.
So her doing a country song.
Let's just go ahead and talk about it. Since
Yeah,
we've already started.
it was nothing. It was not surprising because if you remember, go back to when they went against their own. Think about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift started country. She was in country and she went into pop. And that was when she was getting more known in pop music, and she was still trying to do country. Country abandoned her because they didn't like it because because they didn't like her music. Well, guess what? A lot of people probably didn't like yours either. But you wanted to nitpick about who you in. So now you have this multi-billion. Well, y'all can't even touch her, and you can't get her back.
Mm-mm.
Technically, you can't.
What gets me though is
she will not be at. She won't go to Nashville.
No.
She will not be. She will not perform at the Grand Ole Opry, no matter how much you try to come in there, because of the way people dissed her.
Well, and
Oprah.
But then what gets me is okay. Let's just talk about the racist undertones and things. Have you heard?
There. Yeah,
Yeah, but
I know about the fool, and he's getting all the slack, not even from the beehives, but even from his country folks. It's like those racist tones are supposed to be put back undertone. You put yourself out there, you don't have that support system like you used to.
nope.
Because everybody is out there to the point where no. They can't stand for it because everything is always out in the open. There's too many cameras on the phones. There's too many this where they can record and do stuff. So you can't be as open mouth, closed minded like you used to. These are a new time. And
it is a new time. It is a new time, but at the same time, it's still an old time.
That mentality is still gonna be there. It's never gonna go away as much as we want it to. And the reality of it is, it's always gonna be around.
Yes, most definitely.
In the same breath, as much as we know it's gonna be around, this generation of people, especially black people of different cultures, we ain't as shy like we thought we were back then. Now it's a whole different group of generation of attitudes.
As they say, we are not our ancestors. We are not our ancestors.
These generation, you gonna try to say something about negative about their grandmama, they stepping up. They're not gonna stand behind and let you talk trash. They're gonna be in your face. So that mentality is different now.
Yeah.
And
but now let's talk about
gonna do things from a distance. But they don't have that opportunity like they used to.
Yeah. Let's talk about how black people are perceiving the Beyonce's country music thing.
Some really taking it in. Because if you're a true fan, you're gonna just like I love Usher. Even before the Super Bowl, but when he came out with the album that had the Moving Mountains, he got a lot of slack because he grew up in it. The record grew up with him as life did.
Mm-hmm.
A person, if you're a true fan of an artist, you're going to go through those changes with them. They're not going to stay in that little bubble that caught your attention. You either like some of their stuff or you don't like it. But you know that they're growing, and that's going to be something that you like if you're a fan. So
and she's not
doing nothing out of. She's not doing nothing out of. What's the one that she did with Lady Gaga? Because the telephone.
Yeah, telephone.
Weren't they boots and all like that?
But I think it's the fact.
And they were shooting off. So, but the way that, and I say that particular scene because the way that they were singing the song during that scene, it was Western. It wasn't just like they were just playing. It was the way that they were singing the lyrics. It was to me it came off in a Western undertone. So it wasn't just the costume. The way they sung that part matched the visual.
And I think I have seen some people have said that Beyonce is being greedy. I've seen that on social media the other day.
She's like anybody, even me. I'm like, we can do a lot of things in life, but I shouldn't be put down because I know I deserve something because I know what I put out there. She's put out a lot of stuff out there. She's made many accomplishments, but you hold back the one accomplishment that has to be earned by gaining all these things. She's already done them more than once, but you want to keep holding back that one thing. It's like you're going to keep her in place. That's an issue.
I also think that
because as I found out, and the deal, it's not really it's not a fan base issue. It's a record label issue. Because
I think it's both.
No, but when it comes to making the final decision, it's record label.
Yeah, it is.
Because they make, from what I'm understanding, they make the final decision to who for that nomination. So that's where, for me, it's more okay, she's gonna be Beyonce, no matter what. Just like there's Celine and Cher, and she's always gonna be that artist.
Mm-hmm.
But why hold back? Why can't she be that artist that got everything she deserved?
I don't think
why does she have to hold? Why does she have? And let's just even be fair. Even if she never gets it, why should she have to keep her mouth closed to say that it disappoints her? That she
doesn't have to do that.
Because that's what a lot of people were saying. Oh, that she shouldn't say that she didn't get something. It's okay to be disappointed. If you put in the work for something and you don't get it, okay, that first time or second time, but every time, it's okay to be disappointed. Why does she have to keep her mouth closed?
Well, that's no different than what they did to. That's no different than what they did to Angela Bassett when Angela Bassett didn't win.
And you know what happened with Angela Bassett when she didn't get it? Who came out there and like, Mama, we got you.
Mm-hmm.
There's not gonna be nobody that's gonna be shushing her down to where it's like, okay, she should hide her emotions. There's no reason for that. Why?
It's not.
Why? That
Meryl Streep never hid her emotions when she.
Oh yes, she
when
did.
She didn't win.
But they just cut the camera. But she goes on record as saying yes, she was.
Mhm.
But they will do that. But they will see, and that right there. Why you take the camera off the white woman, but you steady got it smack that in the black woman's face? Like, see, she gonna say something. See, she's ungrateful. She's all this, and they say, and I'm like, let you work your butt off for I don't know how many years, do your whole career. The one award that you don't even need other people to tell you that you deserve it. You know you've earned it. Not deserved it. You earned it. And they constantly hold it back from you. Yeah, I'm gonna be upset. And sometimes, yes, I might be. It depending on the mood, I might not. I'll play my cool, but don't expect it to be every time, and don't expect my face to not show it. I'm like, no, that's just not right. I was in the medical field for over 20 years before I had to retire in it. You say awards and trust things that I got that I'm like, or didn't get. I'm like, if I can get an award for not beating a coworker's butt, I should get. That's all about. A lot of other things I should have gotten, but I'm not like, okay, boo hoo. But I know what my worth is. I know what the work I've done, and I know what I deserved. I know when they needed a restraint with a certain patient because they didn't know what to do. I knew I was the one on the call, but I never got recognized for it. But I knew my job was doing good because I'm the one you call, and I'm the one that could do it. That's one thing about society to a degree. You know when something needs to be done or something you need, you know who to call. And you can keep doing that for so long till that person is going to stop picking up the phone because you're not, as much as they're being there for you, you're not acknowledging it. It's like, okay, this person is doing so-and-so. This person is doing this. This person is bringing you their all. They're doing this. This person made you this. This person does. And if you don't acknowledge their work, their energy, their time, they eventually are going to cut it off. And then you'll be stuck.
Yeah, I get you. I hear you, and I agree.
That's why I'm like when people talk like, oh, she's like ungrateful. What was she ungrateful for? She got every work that builds up to where that is what you have to get these awards to even measure up to even get that award to be eligible for that.
There is a expectation for us as Black women, and there's an expectation of us as Black women to Always
Keep our
be
mouth shut and
gracious.
just smile.
Yeah,
And
to be gracious.
that's so old, and that's old school because I'm like, no. As you can tell, I will smile, but my mouth will run.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I think you have a right to, and also what people fail to realize is that everyone doesn't show their emotions the same way. I have
yeah,
a good resting bitch face. Like I have a resting bitch face. And if you catch me at a certain time, then my resting bitch face will not be the
be
friendliest. But
resting,
that does not mean that I'm not
happy or
celebrating
whatever.
or whatever. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
and I'm the top, and I'm kind of the same but different. My facial, it's like I can say one thing, but my face will show up totally. Because I could be saying I'm fine, and my face will be looking like, girl, quit lying, and it,
yeah.
it won't be true.
Yeah.
That's why I tell everybody, if you got something, ask me. Don't go by my facial expressions because my facial expressions got about 4 or 5 different other categories it could go under.
Well, it doesn't lie.
But
My face doesn't lie. So, if
oh,
I'm
it's
pleased, I'm
boy
pleased.
don't
If
like.
I'm
But
not, I'm not.
if
Yeah.
I'm happy, I'm happy. But my face is prone, so even when I'm happy, it will be straight face.
Mhm.
And you to the point because I'm used to judging, and I mean like on a judging like giving scales 1 to 10, giving. So I have to keep a straight face. So even if I'm liking something and I can't let it show. So so that's why people will be wondering, okay, did she hate that? Because she looked like she wasn't phased. I'm like, no, I enjoyed it. I'm like, girl, I want to film a show. Shoot at you.
Yeah. People have an
But that mentality is just, to me, that goes with people with the racist undertones. That was back in the time in the days. I'll even go into the 80s where it was more acceptable. It's not there. It's like that freedom for when a woman can go out without wearing a bra. We have that freedom to a point where we can be ourselves. It doesn't matter if you accept it. I accept me first. Now, it doesn't mean, okay, I'm going to go disrespect you because I feel like I can. No, but I can be myself if I want to wear a fro, if I want to wear my hair curly, if I want to do this, if I want to stay fat, if I want to be thin, if I want to be what. It's my choice.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to live up to your standards to what you think. I'm going to be me.
Mhm.
And that even includes with whatever gift and talent I have.
Well, okay, I get
Can
that.
you tell I was ready for this episode?
Yeah, you ready? Yeah, you ready? But I want to go to the point of I want to talk about the relevance of Beyonce doing country music now, and people hating on the fact that a lot of people have said that it's not really country music, that the song is
Because
not
it's
country.
coming from an R&B artist.
Yeah.
If
Um.
it's coming from an R&B artist, that let's put it this way: if somebody don't want you in their group, they gonna nitpick everything they can and talk down about everything they can to make it seem like trying to be like the Mean Girls. They just gonna talk down about whatever. Guess
Yeah.
what? It's country. It's
I
good.
mean,
No, I'm just saying because I've only
I
heard
like
parts
the
of
song.
it.
I like it.
I've only heard parts. Yeah, I like it too, and I've only heard parts of it.
I,
But
I like
I
the song.
also know that by any means, if you're coming from a different genre and you start sliding into another, even if it's just a temporary, like I'm just gonna make a country album, and but you know your majority R&B,
Or gospel.
there's gonna be a whole lot of noise.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of uproar. But I'm like, I praise her for the simple fact you did it in February. You did it in Black History Month when we got an extra day. I'm like, you go, girl.
I agree with that. And I think a lot of people are missing the fact that there is a historical
Yeah,
connotation behind it, because at
because
the same fact that
all their main focus is if they talk about the racist undertone and the fact that an R&B artist is doing the country. So it's like, okay, let's talk about those things, and so that way it'll go under the radar.
well, I don't think
To a
it's just
degree.
that. I think the reason that people are talking about the racial undertones is because white country
Oh,
radio and white country music artists, some of them have made it racist. So if
definitely.
you make it racist and you talk about it in that context, then that's what we're going to concentrate on.
Yeah,
Um,
but unfortunately, some of it, there's, how can I say it? It's a saying that I remember years ago. I can't remember if it was my mom or somebody else that told me, you sell your soul for $1. There's plenty of
mhm,
people that do it. But when you sell your soul for a soul, you get a blessing. A lot of people and a lot of artists, I can say from independent artists, and I can automatically assume that mainstream.
mhm,
There are plenty of them that will go, to be controversial, because that'll get them noticed more if they do go controversial.
mhm.
So a lot of people. So I can only imagine how many will put up with all the negativity and the clap back and the latching on, because all they gotta do is, once all the stuff are done up, they gotta do that public apology, make their little post, and it's like, okay, they'll get a little heat, but with those labels and whatever, okay, to get that focus changed.
Mhm.
Because yes, because if she puts out, if it's good, and if it makes, if it stays on certain like tracks, on levels, and it's keeping streams and all that stuff, they're gonna have to acknowledge it more than and more, and they're not gonna want to do that.
Mm-mm.
And that's not just, and that's going with the record label, not these other artists. These are the labels that's not gonna want to do it, because to a degree, she's gotten, she's
I
got
don't
enough.
think
Whatever.
I don't think a lot of record labels have. I don't think a lot of record labels have the issue. I think that it's more
You'd be
of
surprised.
the
No,
country
no.
music radio
I'm
stations.
not. I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna out and say no. It's just no. That is deep in record labels. That's no. That's deep in there. It's not just like, in certain aspects. No, it's in there as well.
Okay.
Even with R&B, even
Oh
that's deep in it. Even with R&B artists and dealing with stuff, it's there. Those
yeah. Mhm.
undertones, sometimes it's not even undertone.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. I can respect that.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
I get where you coming from.
unfortunately, because when it comes to music, and the reason why I'm saying it is from
Mhm.
when the My Magazine was on paper, I dealt with a
Mhm.
lot of labels,
Okay. So
and
you got the first hand experience.
so all the crap that they would go through. And then it was like, now I see why they tried to be independent, because of all the crap that they would do. Because they just like, they got to give what the white people want. Not what they can't. They have to focus on the white people's music. They can't, even though it's an
Mhm.
R&B music. Like,
Mhm.
so it's there. And it's
Mhm.
the crazy part for them is like, and it's coming from black. These are black executives. So you expect it to be different. I'm like, but they gotta pay.
Mhm.
They gotta pay their bills,
Mhm.
and the person that pays their bills is
Well,
not that same tone.
well, this world is
It's a lot of
geared
levels.
toward this world. Wait a minute. this
I like
world
it.
is geared toward and um, set for the white gaze anyway. So
Yeah.
you have to, if it's not white certified or backed, or I mean, you can even say that with different, with some black businesses where you don't really know if it's a black business, if it's black owned or white owned, because there are certain instances where if it's just, if it has a white face on it, then 9 times out of 10 it's going to do better, and not just with white people, but with some black people as well. So
Yeah, that's true.
um,
That's very true.
so this
It's
world
like,
is geared toward that. So I'm not. It's not surprising that um, you have music executives and um, whomever executives, whatever in entertainment, where they are more concerned about the white gaze, because at the end of the day, um, like with rap music, um,
hmm
more rap music was bought or is bought by kids that live out in the suburbs than necessarily the inner city children, kids, black people. Most kids out in the suburbs are buying the rap and the gangster rap and all of that. So it's geared toward that, and you have to, at a certain point, that is your base, and that's who you have to, if you want to make it, that's who you have to appeal to.
yeah, so for a long time, yes, and to a certain degree, it's still that way.
Mhm.
But that's why I think to a certain level,
Mhm.
independence has made such breakthrough in that,
Mhm.
because a lot of artists now, when they've gotten started, because they who became popular and mainstream, they were in, they were independent artists. They
Yeah.
cut through that. So that's why, I'm always going for the underdog. I'm always, but
Yeah.
and I support independent artists, because
Mhm.
they're going through all that red tape. They're going through all those unnecessary headaches and hassles. They can put it
Mhm.
out to who they want, whoever wants to hear them, not just certain genre. Because it was like,
Exactly.
prime example, let's go with Destiny Child. Now, say after they broke, when they went their separate ways. Now we hear Beyonce, like here in Houston, we hear Beyonce, Beyonce, Beyonce. That's all that's playing on the radio.
Mhm.
But when you in California, it's not a lot of Beyonce. It's a lot of Kelly Rowland. It's
Mhm.
like you don't even hear two or three. You don't even hear two or three songs to even know that she made an album.
Yep.
But that's why I say it goes with certain genres. But it's like, because when you flip it, it's like, because I had a military friend, he was stationed there. He's like, oh, he kept hearing with Kelly. I'm like, bro, I think I've only heard one, and it was only because I was listening to Pandora.
Mhm.
So it's like, to a certain way, that it's just, it goes different. It goes to where they think that they can sell it.
Mhm.
But because when she started doing more stuff, it's like, okay, oh, now we can spread her out more, because I think they think they can get more for it. I'm like, she's showing you she did more. She moved on to acting. She's
Well,
still
I
doing her
think
music, but she moved on with acting to where she can still get her music and her stuff out in other forms. To
um
bypass that BS.
yes and no.
Well, to a degree, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's always a negative to the form to
Yeah,
any
it
role,
is.
but
It is.
there was some breakthroughs through that.
It was, and I think that Kelly Rowland is never going to really come off under Beyonce's spotlight.
And you think she doesn't
until
want to. The type of music that she was doing, it was different from Beyonce.
it
The one
is.
she did, and all that stuff.
It
It's
is.
like it's not from being underneath her. She was doing her own path. Just like how they knew Michelle went into gospel. We knew she was gonna go back to gospel.
Okay.
She was doing her
I
own path.
I agree, but I disagree. I agree with you,
Mm-hmm.
but I disagree with you because
Go for it.
Kelly Rowland, she she does not necessarily, she personally may not look at she's under Beyonce, but career wise she is. And that is one of the reasons why here in the
Explain career
States,
wise. In
here
what form? In
career
music?
wise in the States, Beyonce Beyonce is is worldwide. Let's just put that out there.
In
But there's
music?
a certain set of listeners, and there's a certain set of people that enjoy Kelly Rowland and like her that was overseas. Kelly picked up a lot when Kelly went overseas and was working for, I forget the name of the show. It's
The
like
voice?
America's Got Talent, but it was Italy or Italian or something like that. She picked up a lot of traction and celebrity over there than she would have in this climate in the US because
But she was
they're
making.
looking for,
That's why I'm
not
saying
only are they looking for a, not only is Beyonce a, they're looking for her as an artist, but they're looking for her as a color wise.
okay, this is how I see when it comes to Beyonce and Kelly. Beyonce puts out way more albums than Kelly. That's why I'm asking, like, when you saying career-wise in music or what? Because music, Beyonce puts out more, so Beyonce's name is going to be out there more. Kelly, when she did put out her music, remember, they put it in different areas, not just different states here in the U.S., even abroad. But when you think about movies, Beyonce did two, maybe less than a handful, if I'm not mistaken. Kelly I could think of over 10. Kelly put more into movies. So then that's what I'm saying about when it comes to their careers, it's different. Yes, we will always know Beyonce. Beyonce put majority of her category of work is music, producing, writing. Those are her main things. Yes, she dabbled in acting in other aspects. Kelly, music, but the list is different. So for me, the career, when I talk about careers, it's not on an even level playing because it's like if you're going by music, okay, Beyonce got put out more music than anybody, than all of them. So yeah,
I'm not
so
talking
Beyonce,
about just music. I'm
I'm just saying. Now let
I'm
me
not
say this. I'm
talking
just
about
saying.
just music.
I know I'm talking about this. I'm talking about okay. She puts that, but that's majority of when it comes to her career. It's music. She puts out the things. So it's like that span is on a different. It's like it's like comparing peas and oranges because they have some similar things aspect because they were in a group together and they both put out music. But for me, it's different because Kelly, I'm not more seeing her from doing movies. From seeing her from doing other shows, because like how she did the Got Talent, she's also been on The Voice. I don't know how many times, but for different. So she's more spread out in different aspects. But to me, it doesn't make that Beyonce's career is like outshines hers. Because unlike if it was just music,
it's not. It's not about her just. It's not about her just outshining. You
Well,
have to find your niche. You have to find your niche.
Exactly.
And
The
that
niches
is
are different.
Kelly's niche because at this point, and she had to go because okay,
That's what,
okay,
we're going on the same thing, but we're just coming to the
yeah,
same.
but it's just a different, it's a different way of.
They have different niches, so it's like
They
comparing
do.
one niche to another, and they're
Yeah.
different.
But even though you have your niche, you still have to separate yourself from somebody else. Kelly is always going to have to try to separate herself
No, she
from
don't.
the limelight. Okay.
To me, I think that's long. In the beginning, I get that she did have to go through that phase because it was like when it comes to she was part of the original before all these extras came in. So in the beginning she did have to go through that. That's not a factor, but she's been past that mess because nobody's asking or putting her in movies to where it's like, okay, oh, I got to be in this homework film, but it's got to be kind of like to where I got to sing, come off looking, with the curly hair and doing all this kind of crazy stuff, trying to, do something like where it was like what Beyonce was teaching us Beyonce did.
It's not even about that. It's the simple fact that
like,
when you see Kelly Rowland and Kelly Rowland is interviewing and they're talking to Kelly Rowland about what Kelly Rowland does, Kelly Rowland then has to always, it never fails, that they're going to ask her a question about Beyonce. It never fails. When are y'all going to get together? When are y'all going to reunite? Are y'all going to do this? She's never really going to separate herself completely away from Beyonce.
No matter what. Let me finish. Part of her DNA when it comes to entertainment. She was part of one of the top-rated female groups. So, yes, and they know even as long as they've been gone and do their separate things, they know that everybody knows that they still close. They, her children play with her children, all those kind of things. So, yeah, will there always be? Yes. Talk about Beyonce, sure. That would be simple. But when it comes to her work, most of the time now, anytime I see an interview, it's on a personal level. It's not talking about her body of work. When it comes down to talking about work, it's on Kelly. Because Kelly put in the work to where, okay, I do this. I'm on Lifetime. I've done Hallmark. I've done, I'm doing this one now. She's doing this one with Tyler. She's putting in the work to where she's part. Yes. She will always be part of Destiny's Child. But just because that's just like when it was Diana Ross and Supremes, the Supremes, Home Chick. What was the name of that restaurant? Because they had one here. Unfortunately, they had to shut everything down because Uncle killed, hired a hitman and killed the nephew. But it was like it's because it was on. I mean, I want to say it was in St. Louis, but she was part of the Supreme. She was. I want to say she was part of the Supreme, not Supremes, or she was behind with Tina Turner.
No, if you're talking about Miss Robbie, she wasn't part of the Supreme. She was part of the ICAT.
But the ICAT. The people still, even when that showed up, the people still talked about the ICAT, but they were there for her and her food. Then I'm like, when you get yourself to a point to where when you have that status at any point in time of your life, and people still remember it, yes, that's the credit work. You put in that work. People are gonna remember that. Is that all that is for that person? Nope. There was more to it. Yes, Kelly will always be part of that member of Destiny's Child, but she will always be asked about Beyonce because that's her sister. They've always said they've been extremely close. Even when she was going through things, they were always there for each other. They made that no secret. But when it goes off the personal level, they are on opposite ends. That's how I see it.
And I disagree. So
I know.
And that's okay. I think that Kelly is making her own name, but she's having to do. She's made her own way. I'm not saying that she hasn't, and I think that's what you think that I'm saying, but I'm not.
No, I don't think you're saying
I'm not
like
saying
that
she has not made her own way,
like,
but
she
has had to go.
How she got started.
Okay,
So
wait a minute. I will let you finish.
Yeah,
Can I finish?
Yeah, that's what they got.
Okay, thank you. So, Kelly has made her own name and she has made her own way. Of course, she has done that. And I'm not negating that at all. That's what she has done. But she has had to do it and maneuver and move herself in a process that has taken longer and gone a different route, not necessarily musically, but you look at it and she's on these shows, but yet and still she's not getting these, and she's not getting them in America. So, and for her to get her claim to fame, she had to step outside of where she lived in order to get that. To me, that signifies that you have more of a branding, and your team is saying we're going to just separate you, not just musically, tangibly, or whatever, but globally. And we're going to put you over here so that you can garner a name for yourself outside of the U.S. Because in the U.S., that's where, but that's my opinion. And that's all it is.
It's not about
but,
opinion. I just have a question. Because you, from what I'm understanding from you, you know for out of the country. What other do you know of any in-state inside the USA besides the Italian aspect? Do you know of any in the USA where she done work?
Yes, she has done work inside of the state, but she has also, the majority of her work at one point in time was outside of the U.S. And now that it's like, it's no different than any other celebrity when they go across the pond or wherever to play a sport. You have athletes, they can't get on teams in the US, so they play basketball across the pond somewhere else, and then they get their fame or whatever, and they do what they do there, and then sometimes they can come back. And when they come back with a level of celebrity that they did not necessarily have in the U.S. at the beginning. And that's what I'm saying.
Okay, my question is, if it was had a point of celebrity in a different country, how is the U.S. going to really know about it since it's in another country? Because a lot of stuff that happens, unless it's like you get arrested or whatever, even American artists in other countries don't get that acknowledgement unless it's some kind of F up.
That's not always true.
But for being promoted and to be seen wise, a lot of times, yeah.
Okay.
Because it's like it took for Kobe Bryant, as talented as he was, and he was here. Yes, he started when he was in another country where he was from, and he was brought over, and he made a name for himself. He didn't have to. He didn't have to cross over. There's like the I can't think of the brothers, the basketball players, where only two of them made it into the NBA. The third one, he went abroad, became back, and still no. And he went independent, and from his independence, then got into the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I say when it comes to making your name, putting your name to get out there, it's promotion, and you cannot. It don't matter where you are, because you can try to make your name in other countries, but if you make it in other countries, don't expect okay, that's gonna make a difference in the USA, because when in reality your home base, if you're American, if you don't do it here, it don't matter where else you go. Because that's great, but nobody here gonna recognize you. Nobody here's gonna be no. Okay, you did this over there, because you can send them the videotape or send them the link, but good luck in having somebody send it. Even if you had, you were on a sitcom, and the sitcom ended, and you wanted to keep it going, but there was nothing here, so you start doing your comedy in different countries, and you were making a killing and stuff like that, but then you want to bring yourself back to the U.S. U.S. don't know nothing about what you were doing over there, no matter what. I'm like, because this unfortunately, for a lot of ways, the U.S. is the home base, no matter where you're from. That's why now it's at the point to where we're seeing people from the Philippines. They're being notarized. There's people from different ethnic from China. All these different people. They're leaving. They're not getting their name. They're not finally getting the acknowledgments of their work and stuff until they came here. Even though they've been doing films and stuff in their countries, they weren't getting that acknowledgement. It's not till you come to the U.S. So for Kelly Rowland, even to be able to go abroad, she has to put out her something for them to even oh, okay, I know her from so and so, or they've seen her work, not just because doing bills.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more from USA based. That's how I see it. But
I think
both
that
the same things, just different ways.
Yeah, I guess so. I think that it's people um from different countries have some sort of celebrities. It's almost like when you look at Indian Bollywood, they have
Mm-hmm.
they have their own set of stat. Yes, that's what I was about to say. They have their
Yeah.
own establishment, their own established celebrity, where they can then, in some aspects, come to the U.S. and still bring some of that celebrity. I mean, for me, I think that some people can have the ability to bring that celebrity that they have from another country, because the way, even though the US is a home base, you can still know and still follow, because that reminds me of the young guy that played basketball, and he's Greek.
Oh, I know what you're talking
He
about.
played, Huh?
I think I know who you're talking about, but I can't say that name.
Yeah, I can't say his last name either, but he has a Greek last name, and he was in school, and he played basketball in Greece, because that's where he was from, where he was born, I should say. He was born there, and then because of the celebrity and the accomplishments that he got in Greece, he was then scouted for the NBA here in the U.S. I think his name was Nanis or something like that. I can't remember what his name is. But even though someone may go across the pond or go to another country, the thing about the U.S. now, and because of links and the internet, you have the ability to follow that person no matter where they are, no matter where they go and what they do. You still have the ability to follow that person. Now, if we lived in the time before, like Josephine Baker, when she defected from the U.S. and decided to become a French resident, then yeah, if we still lived in that time, but we don't. So even though you have the this the US can still be the home base, and you can still follow that celebrity wherever they are, because I feel, because of the internet, and because of the ability to see them across the internet and anywhere else. And you may not
Truly.
see everything that they do,
But you can
but
get, but you can get a better version of what you can do.
I have seen video. Now, I never saw Kelly Rowland on the show American Got Talent or whatever it was when she was in Italy or wherever that was that she was at. But I have seen footage of it, and I was able to see her and follow that because of the internet. So you have the ability now. At one point in time, we didn't. And if it wasn't that ability to know what other people were doing in other countries, you would not be able to get athletes from different countries would not be able to be scouted for the NBA and the NFL and other teams and other sports here in the U.S. And that's simply because someone somewhere has been able and had the ability to follow them and keep up with what they were doing at that time. Now, am I saying that Kelly Rowland got all of her fame from just, of course not. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is she had to separate herself to a certain extent. That is, I think, one of the reasons why she is focusing more on movies and television work than necessarily music, because at this point in time she's getting more traction from that. So you're gonna go where you're being fed. No one's really, I look at Sierra, and I think, how in the world is she still making music? Why is she not on a runway? Because her fashion and those types of things, she gets a lot more traction, in my opinion, and like an asshole, everybody got an opinion, than she does necessarily for her music. But somewhere somebody is liking Sierra's music. And
Yeah, and her brand deal.
So that's the thing. But I think that, she sometimes you have the ability with your celebrity to venture off into different categories. And I just felt like And I look at Michelle from Destiny's Child, and Michelle, because of her own reasons and because of the genre of music that she went to, it's not expected for a person to have the same amount of fame or looked at as for someone to have the same amount of fame and celebrity in the gospel area of entertainment when it comes to music as it would be for a Beyonce. And I think that that's ridiculous because they can have that celebrity and they can have that music um to get that fame in from the secular world in the gospel. But yet again, going back to the topic at hand with Beyonce and her music, her country music, it's it's not expected. And when you look at someone that goes from one avenue to another, a lot of times it's not expected. You're not supposed to do that. Stay over here. Stay where you are. I mean, they did the same thing to Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish when he went from pop rock um, to country music.
Mhm. They've done it to somebody. It's well, like it is not a surprise. It's
No.
expected.
Mhm. I have to say though, from a lot of the music on Beyonce's Renaissance album and this country song that she two songs that she has out, I have more enjoyed the country music than I did a lot of the music from Renaissance because I'm not into house music. That's not my that's not my
Cup of tea.
bag.
Yeah.
That's not my bag.
Well,
So
everybody, everybody has their own.
exactly.
That's the perk of having variety.
It is the spice of life. It most definitely is. So we didn't get a chance to talk about red flags. I wanted to talk about red flags. I hear a lot of conversation about knowing and seeing and missing red flags.
Yeah.
And my conversation I wanted to have about was identifying because I think a lot of times people often miss red flags or read those red flags wrong is because
Yeah.
sometimes they themselves don't have boundaries or the boundaries that they have are no
And they,
longer fitting for them.
yeah. Then
Um,
I also think about not having the experience
exactly.
because
Exactly.
if you never experience it, that's where you get some leeway to where like okay, but you can still sense okay, this don't come off right.
Mhm.
Or this isn't my cup of tea. But
Mhm.
yeah. What are some of red flags that you learned from early from early on in dating?
Some of my red flags. I will be honest and admit that I have not had a lot of experiences with red flags because at the time I didn't know how to identify them because I didn't have
Mm.
boundaries.
No, okay.
So I didn't know what my boundaries were. Let me say that. I didn't know and I
Okay.
didn't put them in place. So now at 46, my red flags are inconsistency. I don't like
Mhm.
a man that is inconsistent. That's a red flag for me. Um, I don't like a man that is he demands all of my time. Like if I'm having a conversation and I don't text him back right when at that time, to me, that's a red flag. And I must say that,
He's
and I know that
clean.
I'm gonna catch
He's
flack
actually
for it,
clean.
but this is how I feel.
No,
Um,
because there are some people who, that's why they have a phone clean. It's like, okay, you
I
can chill
one
out.
of my red flags is men with children.
Okay. You just narrowed
um,
your dating pool a whole lot, but I'm like, okay.
the reason that that's a red flag for me is because I have dealt with this in some situations where some men had children with another woman, and
Mhm.
instead they did
Obviously.
not cut that situation off.
Oh
They
yeah,
didn't
they
have
try to
the
be sneaky with it.
yeah,
I think for me, when it deals with men with children, the age of the children matters.
yes,
Because if you get involved with them and the child is a teenager, okay, there's been a separation amount of time most of the time if he's being upfront.
mhm,
And I still have that I believe you until you prove me wrong
yes,
mentality. So it's not like, oh, he has to come at me and just bring out the business. It's like, I'm going to believe you because you're taking the time to talk.
mhm,
But if you start, your actions and your words don't match up, then I'm like, okay, it's whatever.
mhm,
But when it comes to a child's age, if they're a teenage, I'm like, fine. But if that child is like 6 months, I'm like, you gotta be disclaimer.
yeah,
What's going on there? Was it a one
mhm,
nighter? Was it like,
mhm,
oops? Was it like,
mhm.
explanation?
Yeah,
So
and then
that's my thing when it comes to kids.
yeah, and also it's and you run into a lot of situations now where um people are co-parenting and they choose to
Hmm.
co-parent by living together.
Yeah, financially, make it works for both.
Yeah, but that's a mm,
Uh huh.
that's
It
that's
works for
kind of
both.
a
In certain, but it depending on how they do it because it's like
exactly.
when my one person is be like they have like those the houses that's like two like that's the apartments. One is one
Mm,
next door to each other.
mhm.
Mama's over there with the kids, daddy's over there. They got their private life, whatever's whatever. Vice versa
Mm,
over there.
mhm.
So
It's
it's
just
just being close. They close to each other, but not
I, and
close
I
with
I
each other.
think it's just in that situation it's about being transparent.
You
And
have to be transparent.
yeah,
You have to be transparent, and you got to be open for.
yes.
You have to brace brace yourself because they're
Mhm.
going if because you're going to be putting yourself out there and vice versa. Something they're going to be putting their stuff out there because it's like nobody's going to want to date me because I deal with this or I have this
Mhm.
crap I got to deal with, and so they wouldn't.
Mhm.
And their crap might be less than what your crap would be.
Mhm.
So it's just being putting yourself out there.
Yeah, and in of having the ability to be vulnerable. But like I said,
Mhm.
I know that I will catch a lot of flack from
Mhm.
people about the men with children thing. But it's because
Well, but
of
it's
other.
not
It's
because you're not the only female that's because just like when it comes to dating, it's like when it comes to like the stigma of dealing with big girls and skinny girls. You like
mhm,
people want to deal with big girls because they think they're easy. That
mhm,
they will put up with less. They will put up less crap.
mhm.
No, they're
Yeah.
saying women don't like to dealing with guys with kids. They're because one the baby mama, the relationship, the kids, the kid don't like me. You gonna automatically pick the kid. So it's like all these scenarios, and the person knows that they're not up for those type of scenarios, you're being honest and you're being upfront to where I'm like, that's not going to work for me, so I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'm going to get myself hurt, you going to get yourself hurt, and kids, there's a whole different other situation.
Yeah,
so
it is.
That's why I'm like, it's not. There's always, like I said, there's always going to be somebody that has something they say. But the reality of it is, when you make a flag, what you will put up with, what are your standards, what you will and will not accept, that is down, that's cemented, and you're gonna stick with it. That's that.
Exactly.
Because it don't matter.
I totally agree.
No matter what you say on.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people that are gonna have their, like you said, their opinions, but at the end of the day, what really matters is what works for me and the individual that I'm choosing to date. Yeah. So
one of my things is like, what's a turn on or turn off for you when it comes to dating? Not just necessarily a red flag, but it kind of is. But what's something that you could be on a date? Say you're on a date, and this is the first date, and you're doing the interview, you're going through the questions. What's one thing that they can say automatically? Date's over.
It's nothing really that a person could say. It's what they do.
Okay.
And what that is letting your phone ring. If your phone is ringing, just go ahead and answer it. For me, that's like okay, because I'm gonna put mine away, and unless it's because of children, your sick mama and daddy, or your job, why you can't put your phone on silent and put it away. I have a problem with that.
Okay.
That's one of my that's one of my pet peeves. I don't like people that have to always be on their phone constantly, especially at dinner when we're trying to have a conversation. I'm not even going to have mine out. Like, I'm going to put mine away.
Yeah. Me?
I know that I've had people look at me like, do you know what you're saying? Yeah. I know.
Me?
I know.
When a guy asks me, they ask me, do you have any kids? And I say no. And they get overly excited, like they be the one. So they ask the question, why not? We're done.
Oh, yeah. That is kind of, the one I don't. This is the one thing that why are you single? What's wrong with you?
No,
what
you have
mean?
standards and you won't let them. And you're not downgrading. That's 90% of the time. Yeah, but no, there are. I take that back because I said 90, and it's not 90, because there are. That's what we did that. That's about maturity, education. A lot of people don't use it, so they get used, and then they scarred, and they isolate, and that's why they single. I'm like, instead of taking that time to realize why you got scarred, what yes, that person had a reason, but where did you have a hand in it? What did you allow that you normally wouldn't allow? You got to check yourself.
You do.
And once you check yourself, you know what you're not. You know when it comes to those type of situations, you know what you will and won't accept. But unfortunately, sometimes you gotta go through it to know that you never will go through it again.
Exactly. Have you
Because
ever been love bombed before? I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish. I was asking, have you ever been love bombed before?
Love bombed. I've never heard that phrase. Explain definition.
It's where a person. Usually, it happens when usually a narcissist does it. They will be overly affectionate. Sometimes they will give you a lot of gifts. They just say
Well, no, I never got
everything.
the gifts. I never got the gifts, but unfortunately, the hand grab. I'm like, if you don't get your hands off me, I swear I will break a finger. Yeah, I've dealt with those.
Okay. I have been love bombed once recently. I was love bombed. It was my first. This is my first experience being love bombed, and I think that it happened because of the emotional place that I was in. And it wasn't like he didn't give me a lot of gifts. It wasn't that. He didn't buy me things, but he said a lot of those things that I needed him to say.
Yeah, he found a different route.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of he picked a different avenue. He went emotional.
Yes, he did. He did. Because I think that he chose to go emotional because he realized in talking to me that I'm not a very materialistic person.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked.
And I'm not going to accept things from someone that I don't really know. But I tell you one thing that he did that really got me, that just took me all the way in. He offered to take me and pick me up from chemo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I could say if that was a narcissist or opportunist that I dealt with. It wasn't even of like a romantic aspect. It was just but he did go through my emotions. It was more playing big brother role when I was going through something, and it was basically just playing me.
Mhm.
So I guess that's what I don't know, because it could be a narcissist, but narcissist got his head chopped off. But it was like more of an opportunist.
Yeah.
That I had to deal with. No,
yeah.
Unfortunately, when it came to the guys that I dealt with, growing up and learning, it was like I grew up having to deal with the ones where I was just like, why would you think I would put up with this? Wait, are you serious? And this is my sarcastic mind back then, even as a teenager. And I didn't even start dating anybody till I was 19.
Okay.
And I'm just like, yeah, you do know I'm more the adult in this, and even I'm like, boy, please.
Yeah.
Because it's like, but I didn't have to deal with a lot of stuff to where it's like, okay, they could get past, I guess, that armor until I got older. And but even when they will get past that level of armor, I'm like, you made it past round 1. Like Mortal Kombat. Round 2.
Yeah. The tests are they're gonna get a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I usually do decent, but it wasn't for me. My thing was I had a level of naiveness because even though I didn't start dating till I was 19, I didn't socialize growing up to know a lot of differences.
Mhm.
of ways people try to do things, and especially when it comes from when they're around you, from when they're
Mhm.
away from. So
Yep.
they're around you being one way, and away when they're away from you, they something else.
Yep.
So dealing with that aspect, that's where I had to learn. To where I'm
Mhm.
like, if you, that's why like one of the things I'm like, I want somebody who can be themselves. I'm like,
Mhm.
don't try to come at me trying to be, I know you want to be in your best behavior,
Yeah.
but in the same way, I just want to see your behavior.
Yeah. Be you. Don't put out the representative. That's what I
Yeah,
call it. Mhm. Yeah.
I'm more of, because I'm a conversationist. That's what I dumped one guy because I'm like, I thought he talked so much to where he told him and stuff that he cheated. And still to this day, he be on my Facebook liking. I'm like, nigga, I don't care about you. No. Yeah.
I thought I I have I have stopped talking to someone recently.
Uh huh.
As I've just started back trying to date,
Uh
where
huh.
he didn't know. I don't know what it was. It was like pulling teeth to get him to talk to me. And if I have to do that, then
It ain't
I'm not
worth
gonna
it.
have a conversation with you. Like we don't
No,
I'm not if I have to try to make you talk to me,
that's with anybody. If you want,
yeah.
because they'll try to make it seem like it's you.
Yep.
It's like, oh, they're just busy. Oh no, it don't. It's one thing to be in a room and where it's loud, you can't talk. That's why you have text. That's why you have email. That's why you have
Exactly.
all these other forms of communication. So
Exactly.
for the come up with all this stuff, and you don't want to, we know you just say you don't want to, or you're not
Exactly.
taking it as serious as the other
I
person.
am. Mhm. Yep. Yeah, I feel the same way because I tried, and I don't like dry conversations, and he would often dry conversations where one word
Oh,
or
I like that conversations because that gets my brain going.
it doesn't for me.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Because if especially if it's like first date or just like you got the nerves and all that kind of stuff going, and it's
Yeah.
like your brain, it's like you have a brain freeze sometimes,
Mhm.
and it's like the stuff that you want to say and you can't get it out because it is what it is. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, we're gonna work on if you want one word, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a game where I'm like, okay, and if you're not willing to try to work on the communication, then this is see you later. It was a nice it was a nice 5 minutes.
I get bored easily, so if
Well,
I
that means you need somebody that's always up to do anything.
yes, and especially talking because I love to talk. I love to talk.
I
And if I have to carry the whole conversation, I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna talk to that person, especially a man. I'm not gonna really talk to him
I do
if I'm
it.
the
I
only
do a
one.
2 strike rule. This is one thing I've learned. I do a 2 strike rule. That's dealing
Mhm.
with guys or anything. I give you instead of doing 3 strikes, I do 2. First
Mhm.
strike is for learning, and if I tell you that this is bothering me or this is not, that's not like there's something that I don't appreciate or it makes
Mhm.
me uncomfortable or whatever. I verbally express something to you, and
Mhm.
you do it again, and it seriously depending on what it was, I'm not going to strike 3.
Mhm.
You've already done 2. And I'm
Good for
like,
me.
so like I said, depending on what it was, because for me, I don't express. It's like I don't express it if something bugs me unless it really bugs me. Because otherwise, you just nitpicking. You're like, man, because I'm like, I know there's plenty of things that I do that's like, okay, that could drive somebody up the wall.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but if so, I'm like, if it's something I can deal with, I'm like, why mention it? Because I'm like, it's just me. It is what it is. But if I mention it,
not mean to cut you off, but that's a pink flag. I just learned that.
Yeah. If I mention it and you do it and you do it again, so you're not even taking into consideration what I'm saying or that how it's affecting me. You want to go, gotcha. I'm like, no.
I have developed a rule now, because I am doing the internet dating, right?
Oh.
And so if I make contact with a gentleman and he does not respond within 48 hours, I delete him.
Okay, that's right.
And I don't always expect, if I don't always expect a man to reach out to me, because I know that can be, you don't know what you're going into, So
yeah.
I
and
am
then,
not a mom.
Or when last time they were actually on it.
Yeah, that's true too. But if you're actively, I give people 48 hours. I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And so if I don't hear from them, I delete them. I just go on. And I'm not one of those women. Excuse me. And I'm not one of those women that, you know how some women are. They wait for the man to ask them out and things like that.
Yeah.
If I want to see a person, if I want to see a man, yeah, I put it out there. Yeah, exactly. I think that we as women sometimes, um, we put a lot on a man, and I think we forget that sometimes men, they're nervous too.
That's why, like, I have no problem sending a guy flowers. I don't expect the guy to always send me flowers. I send flowers to the guy.
Yeah, I've done that before.
And I'm like, okay, you pay for this date. Guess the next one, take time.
Yeah.
If this is going to be a regular, I'm like, I got you. It shouldn't always come out of your bank account.
Exactly. I believe in doing that as well. I think that's important, because I think when you're going on a date and you're getting to know somebody, it shouldn't always be
on the guy.
Yeah, it shouldn't always be. Now, I have had someone ask me out, and they wanted to come to my house. It's the first time that we're meeting, and I'm like, no.
Oh, and then they're like, you live by yourself? It's like, oh, good. I'm like, oh, no, wow. This is the first time I haven't even said I was going to see you.
Yeah, I don't tell people that anymore either. If I live where I live, I don't tell people where I live, and I really try not to tell people whether or not I live alone.
Yeah, I have a bed. Don't worry about it.
I have a room.
I sleep comfortably.
Exactly.
I got a blanket. I'm not a pillow. I'm good.
Exactly. That has become a red flag for me as well too, though, because the last guy that I was with,
you can tell, not to cut you off, but you can tell when they looking for a bed, somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
And though it comes off so freaking clear, because especially even when you're not looking for it, they make it very apparent. They are looking for somewhere to stay. They need a roommate They
Mhm.
can't say that where they at no more.
Yep. Hobosexuals.
Oh boy.
That's what those. That's what. That's what we call those hobosexuals.
That was a good one because that's not what I was thinking. But I'm like, damn, she got that was a good one.
Yeah. That's what. That's that's what
Almost,
hobosexual. Yeah. Yeah.
dang, I wish I could have thought of that one.
Yeah. It's a. Mhm.
Oh no, because as soon as you said it, it's like from what 4 or 5 years ago, people popped up in my head. I'm like, damn, that's what he was.
Yep. Yep. And my thing is this. Ask me. Don't try to run game on me because you might catch me on a good day and I might
Yeah,
be like, okay, how
it's
long?
part of
Well,
being
you,
upfront and honest.
yeah, like okay, you need a place. Do you need a place to stay? Because when it's winter time and it's cold, I have sympathy, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. But if
No,
he's
I
trying to
know
just,
exactly what you're talking about because I had that scenario and it was storming
yeah,
and it was somebody who I saw on a regular, just like in the neighborhood, whatever. I'm like, look, right now my apartment, let's just hang out at my apartment till it calms down, then you can head out.
yeah,
Go. Tell me why. He's like, he's talking. I'm like, we're watching TV, whatever. I'm like, just chill. You're good. Nobody's gonna attack you.
mhm,
Then he was so after he got close, he was like, so do you want? I'm like, I want to watch TV.
yep,
That's what I want to do.
yep, yep. I'm like,
Mhm. And
I
that's
had
what like
somebody,
bum. Yep, that's exactly what he was.
yep. This individual, I don't know. I was in a really weird place in my life.
That's usually when they pop up.
Yeah, and I should have known something was up then, but my
You got
hormones were
experience.
kind of raging a little bit too.
What?
My
Say that
hormones
again.
were raging a little bit. Oh, it was like,
It's how she said it. That's the part. I had to like, wait, hold up, back that up again. It was I'm like, yeah, okay, gotcha.
yeah. So, but when the opportunity presented itself, I was
Uh huh.
like, nah, mm-mm, I don't wanna,
Uh huh. I like
Eh,
teasing you. Let me just tease you.
and I said that too. I did say that. I said, listen, the more I think about this, before he got here, I was like, the more I think about this, I don't really wanna. You shouldn't come because you're
Yeah.
not gonna get anything. And he's like, but I still want to see you. And I was like,
You still not getting
nah,
it.
maybe another time when it's
No,
daylight
I got one more. Yeah, no, it was not.
out. So it came on anyway. I just want a
Uh
hug.
huh.
You want a
Oh
hug?
Lord. Oh my God. I remember those hugs that lasted 4 years. Oh.
And
Oh, no, no, no.
I was like, okay, well, I'll meet you outside.
I'm done.
He's like, I can't come in? Like,
Uh huh.
no, no.
Uh
So, well, long story short, he stayed the night. And well, I really
Uh-huh.
wasn't expecting him to, but he fell
Uh-huh.
asleep. He fell asleep in my house. Like he fell asleep in my living room,
Okay.
and I just
No
kind of
love going on towards people making it to the bedroom.
yeah. Well, but what's so
Uh-huh.
funny is at first, like I was headed to my
I thought
bedroom.
you skipped it, but go ahead.
I'm laughing because it's so funny. I was
Okay.
sitting there. He was lying there on the sofa, and I was peeping at him around the corner of my bedroom door, just to make sure is he really sleeping. I'm gonna see what he.
Oh God. Okay. Okay.
And I did that for about 20 minutes.
I think he's sleeping.
Yeah, I think he's sleep.
I think he was in a deep sleep.
He said that he was. He's like that was your house is really comfortable.
Aw.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like I've never done that
That's what
before.
he said. He wasn't trying to, and he wasn't trying to be more than anything. He's like, but that's
And
good.
that's how he got in. That's how he let my armor. That's how I let my armor down.
Yeah.
That's how he got
Yeah.
me.
That's how, yeah, that's what those rarities that, okay, when they can tell, okay, going this route, she sees it. So plan B,
Yeah.
change it.
Oh, your house
Come up
is
with
so
plan B, plan C, plan D,
yeah,
E, F, G.
all the way, and it was like, oh, your
Because the
house is
more, for me, the more you show, okay, this isn't working. Let me try something else. That means you're putting in it's evident. It means you're putting in the effort because you want things to go well. It's not like you're just trying to get one particular thing. You're trying for
yeah,
things to go well with this person.
yeah,
So we see, so for guys if listening, when you do you see that okay, I need to change it up, do something. We see that, and that
mhm,
is hella attractive.
mhm,
It's so attractive to the point that is probably what gets you the kiss. That gets you the hug. That might get you even more than that because we see
yep,
the effort that you're putting in, not
yep,
what you're trying to get out.
exactly. And
That's why.
it gets you past the armor somewhat.
Oh
You
yeah,
make
it gets you closer to that last piece,
exactly.
the
Yeah,
piece of the resistance.
yeah, the cookie.
Well, no, I was saying the heart on the coochie are probably. No, if we good enough, like you probably already getting to that part. Now the best part of it, it's like okay, you learn the opportunity to see what it's like. Now to get the full effect of it, no.
Mm,
That's what that last bit is because
yeah.
because that coochie can be dangerous because it'll make you come knocking on somebody's door when because you reminiscing in the back of your head.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's nothing like having a. Have you ever been somewhere and you had like a shock and you had and your mind went back and you like, oh, where'd that come from?
Uh-huh.
Wonder what he doing.
Oh, I know where it came from. I know exactly where it came from.
Wonder what
And
he
I'm just
doing.
like, oh, I know what he's doing because I know when he go on break, I know where he's going. So
Oh,
I'm like,
ooh,
okay, yeah,
ooh.
oh yeah.
You got that.
I remember those,
Yeah,
and I
I've
remember.
had.
But the fun part is when you realize it's happening to them too. That's
Yes,
even fun. That's more
that.
fun
Yes, it is.
when you do
Yeah.
something that that caught them off guard.
Uh huh. Uh huh. And then they call you, or they call you, or
Oh,
they
it's more
text
than
you.
call. no, 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 no.
I
It's more
I
than
had
call.
somebody they called like he was leaving. We were dating,
Uh
and
huh.
he left, and he was my husband. He left, and he called me on the phone. he was he was headed to the airport,
Hello.
and he was like,
Okay.
um, "I'm gonna have to come back." Um, damn, I almost missed my plane.
Mm, 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 mm.
Really? Like, I almost thought, I should stay another week or two. So yeah, been there, done that.
Oh.
Yep, it's a good
Hmm.
thing though when you have.
No. How about this?
Mhm.
That they stay, they driving around your job and your where you stay to try to catch you, see if you on break or or you need that ride home. You get off work.
No, I ain't never had that one.
Oh, I did.
I had one just pop
And I'm
up.
trying, and I could not keep a straight face. I'm just like,
Mm-mm.
really?
Mm-mm.
I'm like,
Well,
okay, I'm okay.
I was dating a guy, and it was a weekend. He was like, I'm gonna come and see you for the weekend." I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, not this weekend. I got a lot of stuff to do." "What? What? I'm off. I'm off. I don't, what you gotta do?" I said, "Well, my mom wants me to help her do some things at her house." He's like, "I got you." So he came a day early
Okay.
and came to my mom's house and said, "What is it that you need done?"
Ooh, 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 ooh.
So
Okay.
what? Why is he here?
He wants to help you speed this on to get this. Let's knock this out. Okay, what? I'm
Yeah.
here to help. That's why I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. He was like, "Is there anything else you need, ma'am? Cause we
Ooh.
finna go." "What?" And she's like, "What? No.
Oh,
Where
Mama
y'all
knew.
finna go?" "Oh,
Oh,
we
Mama
finna go
knew.
to
Mama knew
dinner."
doggone well. Mama knew. Let's get real. Mama knew.
Yeah. Looking all fish eyed. Where y'all going? Huh?
Oh, she
Ma'am?
knew. She knew.
Ma'am?
Because if he
Yeah.
came, and you can tell by the way him coming and your expression and the vibes you were giving, yeah, they call his
I
name.
was
She knew.
I was
Yeah.
geeked. I was like, "For real?" He was like, "I'll meet you at your
Uh-huh.
mama's house." I said, "I'll meet you at your mama's house so I can help you get done so we can spend the weekend
Go.
together." Okay. Yeah. Those were the days.
Oh, man, do I remember those days.
Those
They were so freaking funny.
they were.
That's
To
what
be
I say.
young.
Best part of the relationship is the memories and the laughter.
Yes.
Because I'm like, really? I'm like, if you can't make me laugh,
I can't. Like, if you can, I can't. Laugh, it's like, it's up there with looks. It's like,
I'm like, I'm so sarcastic. I mean, my mother knew I was sarcastic even in elementary. She knew he was up the creek. So
mm,
it's in my DNA. But so I'm always gonna be sarcastic, and it's gonna come off kind of funny because I make people laugh. I'm not even when I'm not even thinking about it or even trying. I honestly make people laugh at funerals.
Oh wow!
Was not trying. Just telling people don't. I got on dark eyeliner. Let's not get that. Let's not do the tears of a horror film. Let's not go there. But yeah. So I need the humor because a lot of times you have me cracking up. If you get me to crack a smile, oh, you're doing good. You're doing so good. Because you won't get no fake laugh out of me.
No, not at all. Because I don't do that. No, I think it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Be yourself. Be who you are.
Some people they're thinking it. It's like breaking ice. I'm like, no, if it isn't funny, just like, okay, just okay. You nod your head, whatever. If it wasn't funny, don't laugh.
Exactly. And I don't know. I think it's very important. Something else that I really enjoy, and it doesn't even have to do with sex. It's like just laying in the bed with your person and just talking.
Yeah, it's just being.
Yeah, that is top tier. Yeah, that's wonderful. If you can just laugh and have such a good time with each other. Yeah. And those moments where where it's not even required that you talk, the both of you are just good being near each other.
Mhm.
And you don't even have to say anything. Nothing has to
not
be
a
said.
Word.
Yeah, those moments are chef's kiss.
Better yet, when you're try not to be obvious that that you're even vibing with each other to a point to where we catch eyes and then you realize, okay, we got to stop catching eyes and look the other way, and it's like, who's gonna look the other way first because we stop.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay. Even when people still start talking to me and I'm still looking at the other person, I'm like, yeah, I remember those.
Yeah. Or he looks at you and like, what you staring at me for? I'm not staring at you. Yes, you are.
Hey, I got a fiance off of that one. I ain't gonna lie. It didn't happen, but I got a fiance off of that. Because we both worked at an amusement park, and we went in line for our payroll. And I was looking over this guy's shoulder. I didn't even really pay because it's a long line. It's just a bunch of different people. And he's like, so I can't look at you? And I was just like, well, I was looking over that way, but since you mentioned it, why are you looking at me?
Exactly.
Yeah, that was not,
Yep.
That's the beginning of a crazy relationship where people were shook to the point where we would go on dates after we get off work, and he wouldn't let me walk through the parking lot. He had me wait for him to drive up for me to get in the car and open the door. There's a rose there, and I turned my head, and he's like, look, and we see 8 different people got their mouths dropped. It's like, what the hell? And I'm like, yeah, that's funny. Let's go.
Yep.
That reminded me Chivalry's not dead. But that was so long ago.
It is not dead. It's not dead at all.
Maybe there. But over here it's on life support. Over here it's like it's on life support.
I think it just depends on the individual.
I know, and I can't find them. That's why it's on freaking life support.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
It's just like, I'm like, okay. And people are like, why are you still single? Because I take the time and I put myself out there. I see what's out there. I go back into hiding because I'm like, no, it's not time yet.
My
Nope.
cubby hole.
Nope.
That's what I call it. I go in my cubby hole.
Because I'm
Yeah.
like, it's like I go, I put myself out there, and I'm just like, and it just comes back. I just come back. I'm like, Jesus, fix it. That's not it. No. Hey, I've seen people in their 60s and 80s get married. I'm like, I still got time, but I'm like, no, that, no.
Mhm. You still have time, but yeah, it's chivalry is still alive.
Yes, it is there. I see. I get to hear about it. I just haven't got the chance to experience it. I
Yeah,
miss it.
yeah, it's nice. I
It's,
just
it's authentic chivalry at that.
yes, yes.
The authentic chivalry. I should make clear. The
Yeah,
authentic.
and I personally miss. I have to say, I miss being a wife. I miss being a wife because I I got to take care of him and like I cooked and I did those things that I thought that a wife, that I always I'm too
What
independent
you
to
always
do.
thought a wife should do.
Yeah. And I did them and I enjoyed them, but at the same time it was also I enjoy just having that male energy around.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something about having male energy
Yeah,
around.
and it's authentic.
Yes.
It's like that's why I'm like, yeah, I can say I miss having a partner. I don't
Mhm.
know if I don't know about the marriage aspect, but just to have that partner to where to a certain degree, we don't have to say okay, she's having a bad day.
Mhm.
Okay, let's find the reels. I know she's gonna make her laugh or
Mhm.
put a smile on her face.
Mhm.
It's just like those, just that person that knows you, that wants
Yes.
to, it wants to be there,
Yes.
not feeling like they have to be, that
Exactly.
wants to be.
Exactly. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. It's a beautiful feeling. Um
Mm-hmm. I
and
know,
you
because I
don't
haven't to share it. There's just no one I want to share it with because it's not authentic.
yeah.
Not what's out there, not what I've seen out there.
Yeah. Because
It's not. I have not gotten to experience the authentic.
yeah, that's true. There's a lot of people are they come with their own agendas.
Yeah, and their agenda usually the bed, and I'm just like, bro, if we even went there, you would not be able to handle that. Let's get real. You
Yeah.
will turn into a stalker.
Mhm. That's why I tell people, my husband, he was a man's man, but he was very well
Hmm.
taken care of. I took very good care of him, um,
Yeah,
in all aspects.
yeah.
So,
Because for female, when we have our person and
yeah,
we know we have our person,
yeah,
we doing everything for our
yeah,
person. We're doing
exactly.
things that they don't even want us to do, but we're
Yes,
doing it because we know it takes a load off of them.
yep,
That's what we do for our person.
yep,
Oh, so
absolutely.
I know, and I'm like, I have no problem doing that,
Mm-mm,
being that. Just
mm-mm.
like you have to put, I have a record to where people have to, from my personality, you have to pull me back to stop me from doing it. Like
Mhm.
I said, when my niece, when she got married, she had to ban me off her freaking registry.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, she
Was
banned
that
me.
bad?
No, it was like, because at the beginning I was going to give them a trip for a wedding gift.
Okay.
So, but COVID was ending, but it was, it wouldn't have been a good idea. It just wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
So I decided I was going to get stuff off their registry, but nobody was buying anything. There wasn't stuff being taken off the registry or saying purchased. So, and I knew that they were going to be opening stuff after the wedding.
Mhm.
And I'm the type, that's my niece. Only she's going to have some stuff to open.
Exactly.
So the first thing I took care of, it was the backyard. I got the barbecue pit, got to, hook up the groom. I got the patio furniture, umbrella, the tables, like, do that, this is what you want? Okay, got you. Still, checking almost every tourist I'm checking, nobody's doing nothing. I'm like, somebody better fix this because I'll be damned.
Mhm.
So I put more stuff on the cart. My niece every now and then telling me, why don't you say give people time to get some? I'm giving them time. They need to hurry up. I'm like, you got a list of, I don't know to what amount. I mean, she got cheap stuff on this, but she got a mix of everything.
Yeah.
And it was like she knew I was gonna definitely get her something for the kitchen. I'm like, okay, I got your kitchen, cool. See stuff, okay? You want this dual shower head? I'm like, good, because my niece's short, but her husband tall. Got you.
Mhm.
But there you go. I'm just knocking stuff off. I get down to where I give her. I think the last thing I got for her was a Dutch oven. And I wanted to go back and get it for myself. So that's what made me go back to retreat, and I realized I got banned. I couldn't get back on that stuff.
You got banned.
I'm like, why? I always get these messed up titles. I can say I got banned off of a wedding registry. I got 25 things off this freaking thing. I'm like,
that's a good problem to have. I didn't even do one.
Because and she was like, hey, you give up people. I'm like, I'm giving people time. I left stuff on them before you banned me. So I'm like, yeah, I got banned from a wedding registry.
Yeah. I had friends that were like, why did you?
At her wedding, she announced that she was pregnant. I'm like, okay, glad you. She was like, I've had to ban you because you would have put everything on that. I'm like, let you do stuff in the baby. I'm like, girl, please, you trust me. You didn't know what kind of trip y'all was about to send you on.
Mm-mm.
So I'm like, because I was thinking either Paris or like Puerto Rico.
Oh wow.
I was not doing going to Orlando again. No, I was, because I know she's been to Paris before, but I didn't know if he went. So I was like, okay, maybe change that to somewhere further where I don't think neither one of them went. So I was going. So
I'm gonna remember you when I get married again, so I can put.
Yeah, you gonna block me off of your registry too? I know.
No.
You say that like I never got blocked from a registry before.
No, I won't block you.
And then the killer part for me was my dingy self. I'm thinking all my stuff is a surprise. I forgot about the registry has notified her what she gets so she can do her thank you notes. So she knew every freaking thing I got. Like, son of a freaking. Ugh.
That's a good problem to have. It's a blessing.
She had a good problem until she blocked me. I'm like, girl, really? You blocked me right when you could have got the Apple TV.
Oh, the Apple TV? Oh my God. We didn't do a wedding registry because we didn't really need anything. We
Well,
just
they were new homeowners. They got new homeowners, and they were because like they lived together. They had their first apartment, but they got their first house. And then
yeah.
she was like, after she was like, I had to because it was like I didn't because to let the baby come in. It's like I didn't want you to spend on your money. I'm like, girl, trust me, I didn't. Then when I told her you were going abroad. The trip was not Orlando. He was like, all you could do was laugh. I'm like, yeah, you screwed yourself. You know that, right? You screwed yourself. But then
Oh.
when it came to the baby stuff, she was thinking I was gonna do. I don't need no baby registry. No. We not gonna. You fooled me once. You did it with the wedding. You're not fooling me twice. I ain't stuck about no damn baby registry. I'm gonna do this on my own.
I did a baby registry. My friend had a baby registry, and I think that she had twins at the time, and she's pregnant with
Mm.
twins, and we didn't know if she was having two boys, or two girls, or a boy and a girl. We didn't know what she was having, so
Right.
we were like, "What are we gonna do? What am I gonna get you?" She had so much green and yellow stuff; it was ridiculous
Oh
for
my
the
goodness,
baby.
no.
Yeah, and then she wound
She knew she was having a girl.
up. Okay.
So, but even then, I'm like, because this is like, I knew this was gonna be a COVID baby. I'm like, you know what? Let's let me go ahead and get started because I need something to do while I'm at work. I'm just like. So I'm getting all the. I'm getting the wife. I even the warm thing, the
Oh, the
warm
warmer?
the bottle wipe, the bottle warmer. She stopped me from getting the diaper genie. I'm like, whatever. So I'm
That
like,
is good to
genie,
have.
all the different types of the lotions, the baby spoils, all, I did enough to where, let's put it this way, where a couch, the height of a couch, and then
Mhm.
you have the big, when you get that big art above the couch.
Mhm.
My stockpile was up there to the artwork
Oh
halfway.
wow.
I ain't need to worry about no freaking diaper
That was
jeans.
just the first baby.
She's only had one.
Oh Lord, you done went crazy.
Because I wanted to make sure they stayed in that freaking house. There's no reason for you to come out of that house. So
Yeah.
even in my pile of stuff, I made sure that I got different gift cards for different restaurants and all that kind of stuff. But there was diapers of all different sizes and different phases, and I picked out all different kind of shit. I'm like, even to this day, that kid still hasn't worn some of the stuff I got her. I'm like, she's 2 now. She got what, about another 2 more years to grow into a trench coat that I got her.
You got the baby a trench coat, girl.
Girl, I had that child's sneaker collection before she was able to put on her shoe.
Wow. Stop it. Well, let me end the show because we're about to run out of time.
Uh-huh.
We didn't get a chance to talk about who the fuck that I married. That was
No.
that was
We can
so
do that one on. We can do that because that one is one all on its own because there was so much BS. I'm sorry on both parts, and that to the point where when you talk about flags, she had soon as that's what I said. I read into the first paragraph of hearing about it. I'm like, I saw so many flags in there. I'm like, you stupid.
Well, she said that. She said it was like she said that it's the red flag of what did she call it? Something the flag
When
of
she
nation.
saying that he was a football player but worked at Apple, really?
Yeah. But he worked first. He was a VP. He was a distribution manager or something.
No. No. Mm-mm.
But then
No.
when you look at him though, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna have to come
Mm.
back to that because
Yeah,
I
that's a series all by itself.
it is a show by itself. It is a show by itself. I agree. I just wanted to hit on it and talk, talk about it a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
we'll brief up,
But
but it's like that's why I feel like if we need more people on it, because if it's gonna go by me just by my mouth alone, it's like no. We need
yeah,
because we need other sides, especially for the guy. Even though he did what, but we need a guy to be able to explain why this guy would even try this. Because like what he saw to where he thought whether he knew that this would work. Because obviously, much as she's saying like how how the about marriage, you dealt even though you saw the flags, you still continued.
yeah,
So
and I get that.
no,
I
that's
can
why I say having a
understand.
guy on. That's why I
I
say having a guy on to help to give a better view to listeners to understand why he was able to get past those red flags to where he was able to
yeah,
overlook it.
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
I respect the fact that Risa Tisa, she took accountability for her actions or her
I
inaction.
like the fact I like the fact that yeah she admits okay there were some things that she looked past that she shouldn't have looked past.
Mhm.
We've all done it,
Yeah.
but when it gets to that extreme, it makes it hard to be like for you to be talk down about the other person when you let it get to that extreme. For me,
Yeah.
I mean that's a lot of and I have a story that to explain why I feel that way. It's from
Okay.
experience.
Okay.
That's why. It's from
We're
experience.
gonna have to go. We're gonna have to come back to that one because yeah, I really want to talk about it because I think it's a good, and I love the way that she did it. Like a lot of people
Yeah.
have had problems with it. They said that it was too long, and I'm like, but it's like an
It's a lot.
audio
That's
book.
a lot to take in. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot to experience and to deal with emotionally. It's not gonna come out in a 15-minute read. It's not
No,
gonna come out like two little videos.
no,
That's
not at
that's a
all.
lot to
Not
take
at
in.
all. No, not at all. But I'm, I'm proud that I'm glad that now she's getting her opportunity to go to Paris and London and Paris, however you want to say it. Um, you know, I know that it was some stuff in there that it's like, come on, sis, really, for real. I get it, I do, but I can also understand that where you are at a certain point in your life, you um you can fall prey to that because that's
Well,
what,
and
and I look at it from that point of view for me because I know.
yeah, I see that point of view, but that's why I say for me, I have a
Mhm.
backstory for my views, and it's like
Mhm.
it's because it goes on the level of how sneaky they can be to
Yeah.
where how to get past to where they know that they're coming up to where okay this automatically is going to seem like a red flag, but they find a way to get around it
Yeah.
where it makes itself more believable.
Yeah. And it's also about just what you want to believe in yourself as that woman, what she wanted to believe. But yeah, we'll definitely come back to it. But like I said, we can
You were right. He
add
did
another
not come
week,
on.
huh?
You were right. He did not come on. You lucky little devil.
I told you he wasn't. I told you he wasn't because I think that the last time that he came on and I think he realized that we were talking about real stuff and that he wasn't gonna fit, but now he might be back though.
I'll be ready.
He was Joe. We were talking about our resident heckler. I call him a heckler.
He don't have enough mentality to even say heck. But
That's what he is. He's a heckler.
when you thinking for him when we weren't thinking about him popping up, he popped up, and I'm just like, I knew it.
Yeah.
I said it. I knew it.
Yeah, you did.
I got a little heat from it, and when I say little, I mean it didn't faze me, but I was just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But no,
don't come
at me. No, that ain't gonna work.
Somebody told Lady T that he flustered me that that night he came on when we had Warrior.
Yeah, he flustered you, or we flustered you?
He flustered me. He flustered me. She told, and I was like, she's like, no, he didn't fluster her. She was just trying to get rid of his behind, and I was, and I didn't even mean to bring him on. That was the thing. I didn't mean to bring him online. So
I know, but because the last time the guy that you had on, he wanted to talk to him. Like I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah, that's what I said. No, you don't. No, you don't.
I said I wanted to interview. I wanted to interview him.
Who, Warrior?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. He's a really cool guy. He's a really cool man. So
I like the you guys.
Yeah, he's in Boston. I can give you his contact info and reach out to him. Yep, I'm sure he will. Yeah, he would love to hear from you. And especially with you doing poetry. So he would love to do that. And he's a good. I've on his social media. I've heard him, and when I heard him do Art Without Ego, that was the show. Yeah, that was the show that he was on, Art Without Ego. It's based in Boston as well. So,
no, I think I know the show.
Oh, you know that guy?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, he's really cool. He seems like a really cool guy.
He follow his really cool.
Yeah, he is. He's very passionate, and I like that. I like that about Warrior. He's very passionate about what he says and what he believes in, and I like that. I like when someone is that passionate about their.
They can speak about their creativity and don't hold back.
Exactly. And his poetry is is like him, as a matter of fact. It's very passionate, and it's very I'm not gonna say in your face, but it's very passionate, and he doesn't hide away from the emotion that comes with his spoken word. So I really
it's like it's blunt. It's visual.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. Yeah. I wish I'm hoping that if I ever make it to Boston that I could have the opportunity to see him live, and I may try to later on in the year. I'm gonna do a poetry show and see if he wants to participate in that. So we may hear Warrior again, and I definitely want to get Word Mortician. I want to get her because she is so freaking dope. I love her. Like I've only talked to her twice, But the few times that I talked to her, she was so dope, and yeah, I really enjoyed conversing with her. So
Yeah, she does. Yes, and I love her work too. I can't wait to where uh, she submits more work to the magazine.
mhm. Yeah, she's very busy, and I
Mm-hmm.
love that. I love that she's very busy, and she's also very passionate about what she does and where she speaks and how she speaks, and I admire that. I admire that. Okay, y'all. So it's the weekend, baby. I thank y'all for listening to another episode of my voice is pretty good of Night Talks with Sasha. I want y'all to have a great weekend. Be safe out there, and we will see you again on another Friday. Definitely stay tuned for the shows that are coming up. You will find it on my social media: Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We ain't too good with the TikTok yet, but baby, we working. We working. We work. Okay, okay. But yeah, thank you again for listening to another episode of Night Talks with Sasha. Um, I want to thank my guest, Deidre Gibbs, CEO and editor of HPS Magazine out of Houston, Texas. So, Deidre, tell everybody where they can find you. I always let people do that. I like for people to tell where they can find you
You
in
can
your.
find you can find me at hpsmagazine.com, or you can find me on Facebook or even Instagram. And if
Okay.
you want to email and submit or have a topic that you want to talk to me about, you can always email me at deidregibbs406 at gmail.
All right. Thank you. So thank you for coming on tonight. It was a good conversation. I like when two passionate people have a good conversation. I hope that everybody else realizes it's nothing but love. You know, we ain't mad at each
Yeah.
other. It's love. So hard
Very,
feelings.
very much so.
Very much so.
No,
So
we both stubborn and talk. Want to get up, talk up, get our voices across. That's about it.
exactly. Exactly. That's all it is. So nothing bad going on there in that situation. Um, so again, have a good night. Stay tuned for the interview that's coming open. That's coming up. Coming open. Well, I am coming open. I am going to be open. Just everything's going to
Ooh,
be out there. And
that's what.
oh boy, you gon' yeah, you part of that too. I already know what to expect from you, Miss Gibbs. And
Yeah.
stay tuned for Unique, who's coming on later on in March for Juicy Peaches and the Supersize Your Life Expo and a lot of other things that she's got going on. We're gonna talk to her and get her on air as well. Next week we may do part two of the rundown topics and talk about who the fuck did I marry. Risa Tisa. Now you know, Deidre, I'm already trying to get Risa Tisa on the show, don't you?
Okay, cool.
I am. I'm trying to get
I
her.
know.
I'm trying
And
to
then
get her.
she, and then she, yeah, and if she comes on, I'm like, I'm all for it.
I am
I might.
too.
So no,
So
I know you are too, because I'm like, hopefully she hear what I have to say. So I'm like, pretty, pretty, but sister to sister. That's all it is. We
exactly.
to support each other. We don't always have to agree,
No.
but if we're gonna be supportive, we can to support the good side and the bad. We can say,
Exactly.
okay, this was bad, but just because that bad don't outweigh the positive.
Exactly.
So, but
Absolutely.
you're not being true if you don't talk about the negative.
True. Absolutely. I agree. Because there's always that aspect of a conversation when you're having a conversation. I agree. All right, y'all. Thank you again for listening. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next week for another episode of Night Talks with Sasha. I am your girl, Yeti Sasha. And as always, baby, let's talk about it.